Hello viewers, hope happy day it is. Welcome to Dailies on TVRC. I am Hagitunde Some Vincent. Joining me on set today is
Samuel.
reading to your hearing is the Vanguard newspaper.
And with me is Punch newspaper. ASU awaits Buhari on no work, no pay, holds next meeting. Prioritize elderly Nigerians, help news, expert urges federal government. Coming from the world of sports, PSG not distracted by Mbappe's report, says Garcia. Insecurity affecting North economic development, group laments. Also on the front page of Punch, Lagos developer defraud 200 house seekers, 15 blame police. INEC deletes 2.7 million for double registration. Also on the front page of Punch, Nigeria's doctor in UK laments exploitation, slave labor. Policemen flee as Rivers cultists hack, rob residents. Stakeholder knocks Ethiopian Airlines, stakes in Nigeria airline could also be found on the front page of Punch. Nnamani warns PDP over boycott of Wike scam. Presidential fleet funding rises to 81 billion naira under Buhari. And let's take this one also. I received many inquiries on Tinubu's health, says Ajomale. So, Mr. Aketude, so let's start from here. That says presidential fleet funding rises to 81 billion naira under Buhari. And don't you think this is a huge amount of money being spent on a presidential fleet alone, or what's your take on that?
Did you just say 1 billion naira?
81 billion naira.
Just a presidential fleet?
Yes, fleet alone.
Do you know what I've noticed in this part of this part of the world,
Okay.
sub-Saharan Africa, or Africa generally, is that oftentimes there's what I call the misplaced priority. We are still a third world state. I mean, generally, let's face the reality. The level of our production is still very much low compared to even those in the Asian tigers, Malaysia, Singapore, even Indonesia, China. Don't talk of the European countries. Why are the presidents in this part of the world junketing? I mean, flying to where, to do what? Even if it's going to be for meetings. It's not going to be something out of place to even see an African president to even mount to mount a plane to other country. If the Vatican City, the Pope, could still fly on on plane that is meant for everybody. So why should African country be, because it is only when you have eaten and you have your tummy filled to the pinnacle that you can sit down extensively to relax. Considering the fact that in this part of the world, virtually a country of 200 million plus, over 100 million plus they are down below poverty level. Then where is the joy coming from? Where is the happiness coming from? And people could still make a record that over 1 billion is spent on presidential flight alone, at the expense of what? At the expense of a falling economy, at the expense of the level of insecurity, at the expense of not being able to take care of your military, at the expense of food security, at the expense of unemployment, at the expense of inflation rates here. I mean, like I said at the very inception that we have, I think in this part of the world, there's a misplaced priority, and that's why we haven't taken for granted.
Okay.
Taking for granted among the committee of nations, among people from Africa. I don't know if we still are Pan-Africanists. I don't know if we have people who are willing to learn from leaders who have been able to take their countries to the promised land. For instance, the Mahatma Gandhi of India, Abraham Lincoln of the United States of America, Even this man, although he was nobody still want to reckon for what he did to Africa, but in his country, he's seen as a don. That is Winston Churchill. So we still have so many great leaders like that. What about the foundation, laid by the forefathers, the patriarchs of Africa? Like oftentimes I talk about Uhuru Kenyatta in Kenya. Look at what he did to his people. Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana. Nnamdi Azikiwe to a great extent, and Awolowo to another extent. All these people, they set the foundation. So I don't know, who is it that we cannot have a leader that can act in accordance and in line with these patriarchs? It's going to be, everybody should work towards writing his name in gold. Imagine, look at the way Africans, look at the way they are not just they are not even walking. Most of the African states, they are crawling. Not even crawling on their two hands and but on their chests on the floor. So the point is, I just hope that there will be a turnaround in a very short while, because enough of this it's becoming so disheartening and so devastating.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Akindele. Because of our time, so I think I've read some of the headlines making itself rounds the newspapers this morning, as this one is just coming in right now. Conversion: how I kick Super TV host. So that is from Chidima Confession. So I think we still have the same headline in the Vanguard, right?
Yeah.
So I think we can deal with it over there. So let's have what you have for our viewers here.
All right, on the front page of Vanguard, ASU to hold emergency meeting tomorrow over suspension of strike. Osinachi husband said, I want to break a soul tie with twin sister. Witness tells court. Still on the same Vanguard. Our fight for new Nigeria is for your sake. Obi tells girl child. Like correctly said, it's very much looming here. How I killed a tiger. Chidima confesses as court plays video. Talks to resolve Kanu's matter politically still ongoing. Talk to resolve Kanu's matter politically still ongoing. This is coming from Bishop Onua. IPOB slams security agents for forcing alleged criminals to claim ESN operatives. Should state, community, vigilante groups use sophisticated weapons? That story is on Vanguard. Change education funding model. Gani Adams urges federal government. 2023, APC dead in Oyo. This is coming from the incumbent governor of Oyo State. That's Governor Seyi Makinde. NSCDC officials allege lopsided promotion. That story is also on the front page on Vanguard. 2023 election, Obi data to begin zonal campaign rallies October 18. Oil theft. Clark asks Buhari to set up judiciary inquiry. On natural disaster, flooding, set up presidential relief committee for victims support. Can tasks federal government. National honors. Buhari vows to hand over peaceful, secure Nigeria. And again on the front on Vanguard newspaper, JAPA, United Kingdom said to curb excess dependence from Nigerian migrants. Nigerian doctors in UK lament exploitation and slave labor. That is also on Vanguard. Finally, federal government docks Lagos monarch, 3 others over alleged forgery of Supreme Court judgment. just before I drop on those highlights, I would like to take this. EFCC files money laundering charges against ex-Lagos AG Shasori. There's another very juicy one. He's saying killed, kidnapped victim buried in Hiwo. Mr. Sam, let's comment from this. Killed, kidnapped victim buried in Hiwo. But don't forget, the first word is saying.
Yes.
And the killed, kidnapped victim buried in Hiwo. What's your take? It's saying to Hiwo. I think that's just too far.
Being kidnapped in Ishani
and buried in
Iwo. In Iwo.
And this issue of kidnapping.
This issue of kidnapping, those ones should be masterminded by people that really knows the person. Because for you to go from all the way from Iwo to kidnap someone in Ishani, it's not Ishani, but
yeah, kidnapped he's saying and buried in Iwo.
So it was been masterminded by some people.
It's just too far.
It's too far. So it's not a good news. It's not a good news. From this, it's not a good news, and we just urge our security personnel to still work more. I know they are working harder. They are doing the best they could, but they should please put in more so that this kind of kidnapping and killing, murdering, and many people just like that will be subsidized, and at the end of the day will just be a forgotten issue in the country and state.
National honors. Buhari vows to hand over peaceful, secure Nigeria. Do you think the president is handing over a peaceful and secure country?
Well, it's not peaceful right now, and it's not even secure. So I don't know how he's going to do it.
I don't know.
Why is spending 81 billion naira
on the presidential fleet?
So I don't know how Nigeria is even secure.
Do you know my take on all the surgery is that sometimes I just wonder if people in Abuja, if they are really aware of what's happening at the regional sites, or had a local government, or I don't know if they are really aware.
I'm not sure they are aware of what is happening.
And that's why the president could say he's actually handling over a secure and a peaceful Nigeria.
What is just like an illusion or a dream that you just dream that you don't.
Are you saying the president is dreaming?
It's not everybody that sleep that dreams.
Oh well, okay. That's how I know. Anyway, let's take a look at this. Should states community vigilante groups use sophisticated arms?
Yes, I will support that. I can remember the time in retrospect in 2010, 2011, while we were still in secondary school. Then yes, there is this kind of crisis that breaks out. Then is this Fulani S-men also. Then when they started killing the villagers and collecting the goods from the market women. So it is these vigilantes and the hunters that they drive these people out of the bush. Bush is their home and that's their hidden place, right? So it is vigilantes that drove them out then. And while they were driving them out, I could remember they shot directly to the school, and it eats our gardener. We call them gardener. Gateman. Then we call them gardener in school, and it just take the glory of God and all these Nigeria black magics for them to have used with these sophisticated weapons that these S-men use then. So I think it will be a good development, another empowerment for the vigilantes from the federal government if they can allow them to use these sophisticated weapons, since these terrorists have access to it. And they can use it at any point in time, and at the end of the day, they will go scot-free. Well,
I could just reason because it requires a wisdom.
Yeah,
because
there's not trained.
There's not proliferation of small arms.
Yes.
If you give arms to people who are not duly registered, they could easily, take possession of the arms.
When you're talking about vigilante, they are all registered.
They are registered.
In their local government.
No, I'm not talking about. See, for example, you just talked about vigilantes and the hunters.
Yes.
Hunters are people from the community.
Yes.
Who perhaps are predominantly, they are always the type who wants to, who hunts,
Okay,
who go on hunting exercise.
Okay.
That's hunters. No, vigilantes. Back in the days, vigilantes has been grossly has been grossly abused these days, because anybody that you called, all those who are securing private owned properties, some of them are also called vigilantes. Now we have people who are now on uniform called vigilante. Now the point is, we need to know who is who.
Okay.
If we are going to have them as a group duly registered. But the point is, what people are clamoring for is that the federal government seems to believe that they cannot, because of salaries, harmonizations. So I know the government, they don't really want to go into another establishment of another security outfit, because we have some that are very much still pending, like the Peace Corps. Like recently, the National Force was banned. They were disbanded by the Minister of Interior under the auspices of the federal government. So, like I said, that if we are going to have a vigilante group to be in charge, and that's why people are clamoring for state police, community police, even in the US, even in big countries. We have what we call this the Seattle police. They have what they call the sheriff, the local sheriff, that's always in charge of an environment. So the point is, what I'm saying is, if you call,
I still have a say to that.
I know. I just want to establish a point that if you see some of our vigilantes, are we talking about those who are duly registered, or those that are securing private enterprise?
No.
And if you are talking about those that are duly registered, how many are they? Anyway, that's
okay. If you're talking about those who are dealing with private enterprises, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those people, they have sophisticated weapons. Go and check them. They have it. But when we're talking about vigilantes, they are 99% of them are made up of hunters.
Mm-hmm. And they use that double barrel local guns.
Those local guns, we call it do them in at times. That will wait for me and kill you, because if you are on the run, they cannot easily target you, or because when they shoot at the first shot, then they have to refill again. They have to refill again before.
And it's made up of so many. So that they used to use a coconut, the bark of the coconut tree, and all those powder and
this powder before this thing could be done. And you see that is why all these herdsmen terrorize them day and night, kill them. It's not that they are powerless, it's not that they don't have this experience, but they were not. Something happens some let's say early this year, that somebody proposed that guns should be legalized.
Mm-hmm.
Due to all this insecurity stuff of a thing. So I think these agencies, they are well trained already. Okay, like these headlines are from Punch. I say, policemen flee as river Curtis hack. In the police we are talking about, even when they see something, when they meet,
but even the police, they carry
sophisticated guns and they still flee. It depends of those that carry machetes alone. These Curtis we are talking about, they didn't carry guns, they didn't carry any sort of, but they are with machetes, and these policemen, they flee or they took on their hip.
That's serious.
That's, you can see how serious it is.
Cultists,
police and cultists. And there were like 50 of them, 50 of these hoodlums or cultists we're talking about, and they raided 2 communities. They raided shops, homes, and everywhere, and they were just like King Kong in their own jungle there. So let's assume that we have these people are they being harmed. When police just say that, okay, we are unable to subsidize or we cannot handle this thing, then they will call for backup.
Okay. Well, we cannot really exhaust what we have on the dailies, but just at home, I think you've had it all. I know you've actually had a very nice time with all the juicy headlines. This has been the situation in the country, very tensed, and we just hope that things are done on time before, because if all these things are not properly addressed, then the country will not really enjoy the dividends of not just democracy. The citizens of the country will not even find it very funny. They will not find the country habitable. So therefore, we just hope that things are put in place on time. But just as we are actually approaching the election, I want to admonish every one of us to get our PVCs so as to send away, chase away bad and very terrible politicians.
Sure.
So therefore, this will withdraw the curtain for today. Do join us next time for another exciting episode. Until then, remain your humble host. Bye for now.